Okay, so Brave. Okay. Brave. What am I supposed to say to this? I mean, like, it's Pixar, so like, do you really need like a review? I mean, maybe yes, maybe because after Cars 2, maybe people have lost their faith in Pixar a little bit. Like I lost my faith a little bit, especially after coming out of like a movie like Toy Story 3. They make something like Cars 2, and it's just just a utter freaking like disappointment. So there was a lot of like anticipation for Brave. Like they wanted to see if Pixar was going on going downhill, or if they could somehow recover. And Brave had a mixed reaction. That's what I heard. Like it was mostly positive still, but um, it's been getting some flack. Like I can understand that the company has made a string of good movies, so maybe it's time to have that downward slope a little bit. I mean, Disney had their downward slope with like Atlantis and Treasure Island, so maybe it's just time that Pixar had its downward slope. I mean, like, um, Brave. I mean, but the question is Brave like was Brave a huge disappointment like Cars 2, or was it, or did Pixar redeem themselves? And I have to say they they did prove that they could still make a good movie, but I feel like this movie could have been a lot better than it turned out to be. And I really, really, really hate to say that. I really do. Because I wanted this movie to I wanted movie to like be good. I mean, be like Pixar good. I mean, this wasn't Pixar good. Basically, it was good, but it was like standard animation movie good, which is disappointing coming out of Pixar. So, going into further analysis, the good parts about this movie is it has like the same basic elements like of a Pixar story that makes it good. I mean, like it's funny, it can be sad, and it has good storytelling. Like Pixar has always been a good storyteller, so there's nothing wrong with the story, and the voice acting's good, the animation is good. Like Merida's hair, it's like I don't I don't really see a lot of comments actually about her hair, but that thing looks like it took forever to animate. Like I don't know if I don't know anything about animation, but it's like that thing looks like it took them forever to animate. But anyways, what was I saying? The story, yeah, the story was good. It's just it it felt so generic. Like I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but all it turned out to be was you have the rebellious daughter and the mom who's like oppressing her, or look, in her mind she's being oppressed, and she runs away from home and she stumbles upon a witch. And oh shoot, I'm sorry, spoilers. Okay, spoilers. And she stumbles upon a witch, right? And she asks, "Can I change my fate?" I'm sorry, my. And so she gets a potion. I'm sorry, and she gives it to her mom, and the mom turns into a bear. Like the main antagonist in this movie is a bear. So apparently, I think Scottish people hate bears, but I don't know. So mom turns into a bear, and from then on, the daughter Merida's trying to turn her mom back into a human, and along the way, you know, they bond together, mother and daughter, and in the end, blah blah blah, everyone lives happily ever after. So, the main problem with this is you're expecting more. I mean, you have like, if you look at past examples of the other Pixar movies, you have like Toy Story 3, which hinted that like the toys would be destroyed at the end, which was really, really, really dark. And you have Up, which also talks about the idea that like a woman can't give birth, or the concept of death, right? That's like and also even think about Wall-E, which talks about like the end of the world, or even like The Incredibles, which talks about like retirement, or like people losing their like get out of their prime or something like that. And other stuff. It's like you you have these like themes that are not really for children. They're more for like teenagers and adults. And it's like if you do that, your future work, you're gonna like predict something on that level. And that's my problem with Brave. I mean, like, Brave was good. It's just it keeps you keep expecting it to go even further. Like, um, it just felt way too predictable. Like, I was expecting like a Pixar twist here. Like at the end, I was like predicting the mom never turns back into a human, but she learns to accept her mom as like a bear or something, or even a darker ending. The mom dies and like she learns to forgive herself. That's something I expect from Pixar now. And you can even go even further. Like you can go like I don't know, I don't know, think of something, but it's like there were so many parts in this movie where you expect Pixar to do one of their like now now it's like a tradition, like their traditional dark turns or like things you wouldn't expect in an animated movie. It it that's why I'm kind of disappointed in Brave. It felt like a regular, just like a regular anime movie. It didn't have that Disney spark to it. I mean Pixar spark. I'm sorry, because and it does have some Pixar, a lot of Pixar's like standard things. Like it has the animation, this the funniness. It's like it the Pixar is not totally out of here. But I don't know. I feel like Pixar's slightly losing it. It's. I really don't want to say that. Now, outside of the story, I mean, I ran in on the story a little bit too long, but I don't know. I think that's my main complaint with this movie. Like everything else is fine. The music was fine. The animation was fine. The acting was fine. And props to props to Soap McTavish for playing the dad. I didn't know he could do funny, but anyways, everything was fine. It's just the story that could have been so much better. It and also it felt like it ended too soon. So like, I think that's my main complaint of this movie. So I think the next part I can talk about is like, well, uh, well, I've been hearing some. I mean, I've been hearing lately that there's some other stuff that people are talking about Brave. Like I remember like this one guy made a comment that Merida might be a lesbian for what being independent, doesn't want to get married, and I thought about it for a long time, and I just realized like this even though I expected a lot more from Brave. I mean, there is at least one thing that, like, I didn't expect Pixar to do. This is currently the only... I should have mentioned this a lot earlier, but, this is currently the only Disney movie I know where the princess does not end up with a guy, and actively does not want to end up with a guy. And that's a step up, alright? This is a princess who doesn't need a Prince Charming to, make her happy. So, like... I felt like, I mean, I know I should have mentioned that earlier when I was doing my rant, how like, this movie isn't as dark as I expected, and yeah, I mean, this is like a twist that you'd expect from Pixar, but it's like, I feel like they could have gone a little bit even further than that, than how they went into this movie. Like, they kind of went over the basic stuff, like, the people accept that she doesn't want to get married, and she doesn't get married at the end, and blah blah blah. But they could have made it more complicated. That's why I didn't mention it earlier. Like a lot of people are praising that it's like, oh, yeah, it's a step up, but it's like they could have taken the step a little bit further. You know what I mean? I know some feminists are complaining about that, and I'm kind of agree. I mean, I kind of I'm not saying they should have, but I'm saying they could have. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Brave. Like in the end, it's still a good animated movie. It's not the best from Pixar. They could have done a lot better, but even when they take a crap, it's like it's still good. And I'm not saying this movie's crappy. I'm just saying even on their like, and even on a bad day, Pixar can still make a damn good movie. So maybe I give this movie like an A minus. Like every other Disney movie except maybe Cars 2 is like an A, and then this movie's like an A minus. All right, so it's like it's not the worst thing ever. So that's all I have to say.